The Dark Reality of Organ Harvesting by Despicable Stars. Ladies and gentlemen, today we gather to confront a truth that is as disturbing as it is hidden. A truth so deeply buried beneath the glamour and fame that it is almost unimaginable. In the world of celebrity and power, we have long been taught to look up to these figures, to idolize their success, their beauty, their wealth, and the seemingly perfect lives they live. But behind the cameras, behind the red carpets, lies a grotesque secret, a secret so veiled that it shakes the very foundation of how we perceive fame, success, and morality. I speak to you today to reveal a dark and disturbing reality that some of these so-called stars have been complicit in a reality of organ harvesting and exploitation. We live in an age where fame is often synonymous with eternal youth, unblemished beauty, and boundless power. We worship those who appear to have it all: the luxurious lives, the adoring fans, the never ending spotlight. But what if I told you that this perfection, this seemingly flawless existence, comes at an expense of innocent lives? What if I told you that some of these stars, these icons we place on pedestals, are part of an insidious network that buys and sells human lives for the sake of their own vanity? The hunger for immortality is not a new thing, but it has taken on a horrific new form in our modern world. The pursuit of eternal beauty, eternal youth, and the fear of growing old have driven some individuals in the highest echelons of fame to commit unspeakable acts. In their relentless desire to preserve their status and allure, they have turned to an illegal and horrifying trade, the harvesting of human organs. Imagine for a moment that the body you inhabit, the very life you hold, could be reduced to nothing more than a commodity. Imagine that your kidneys, livers, heart, and even your lungs could be harvested to feed the greedy of those who want nothing more than to remain young, beautiful, and powerful. This is not science fiction. This is the reality of a dark underworld in which organ trafficking and human exploitation are rampant. The sickening truth is that the demand for organs has created a market where the rich and powerful, those we idolize as stars, are willing to pay top dollar for organs that are harvested from the vulnerable, the desperate, and the forgotten. These victims, often from impoverished or marginalized communities, are offered an escape, a promise of a better life, but instead are sold into slavery, their organs harvested for sale to the highest bidder. This trade is not only illegal, it is immoral, and yet it persists because it serves the need of those who can afford it, those who are already at the top, those who already control the media, the narrative, and the every lives of others. Now, we have to ask ourselves, how is it possible for such horrors to exist in a world where we hold celebrities in such a high regard? These stars, who seem so untouchable and who we place on pedestals, are often complicit in these crimes. While the rest of us are busy admiring their flawless skin, their youthful energy, and their ability to remain untouched by time, they are making deals with dark forces to keep themselves that way. These deals don't just happen in broad rooms or on movie sets. They happen in back rooms, in hidden hospitals, and in the shadows where organs are traded like the most precious of commodities. The system of organ trafficking operates with a chilling efficiency. Organ harvesters, often operating in illegal hospitals or underground networks, work tirelessly to acquire organs from those who are too vulnerable to protect themselves. These organs are then sold for vast sums of money, often to wealthy individuals who have no regard for the origins of the organ they receive. These stars and the wealthy elite are often aware of the source of their new organs, but turn a blind eye, choosing to enjoy their luxury and youth without a second thought to the lives destroyed to make it happen. One might ask, but how do we prove that these stars are involved? The answer is not as simple as collecting hard evidence. This trade is designed to be invisible, to operate in the dark, and to protect the stories involved. But the patterns are undeniable. The rising number of disappearances in impoverished areas, the strange and unexplained surgeries performed in private clinics, and the sudden surge in the availability of organs for the elite, these are all signs that something is deeply wrong. It is important to recognize that this despicable practice does not exist in a vacuum. The stars are idolized, are often the faces of a system that profits off of the suffering and exploitation of others. Their beauty and power are a direct result of a network of corruption, trafficking, and human suffering, and we as consumers, as admirers, as fans, enable this system by continuing to worship these figures without question. We consume their content, we buy their products, we glorify their lives, all while turning a blind eye to the ugly truth that sustains them. The victims of this system are often forgotten, their names lost to history, their bodies mutilated and discarded as if they were nothing more than tools to preserve someone else's vanity. They are the silent ones, the faceless ones, the ones who suffer and is hidden behind the glossy smiles of the rich and famous. They are the ones whose organs are taken to fuel a machine of greed, exploitation, and corruption. We must confront this truth. No longer can we allow ourselves to be blinded by the lights of fame and wealth. The price of this glamour is too high. Human lives, real people with families, with dreams, with stories, are being sacrificed to feed the egos of the rich and powerful. Their organs are harvested, sold, and traded like commodities, all in the name of vanity and immorality. We must demand accountability. We must expose those who are complicit in this dark trade. We must call out those who profit off the suffering of the vulnerable. We must refuse to celebrate those who take part in such horrors. The time for silence is over. The time for action is now. We must not allow the glitter of fame to blind us to the darkness that it hides. We must not allow our admiration for these stories to perpetuate the system that profits off of human suffering. It is time to dismantle this web of exploitation. It is time to demand justice for the victims who have been silenced. The truth has been buried long enough. We must bring it to light. Hold hold those responsible accountable, and ensure that no human life is ever again reduced to a commodity to be bought, sold, or harvested. Please, people, stand up for truth and justice. Stand up for what is right and rebuke the wrong. Stand up. Make your voice be known. Make your voice be heard. Enough is enough. Destroy these bastards. Take them down. Now is the time. Get up off your ass and get to work. Thank you.